Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Autism Stories. I'm your host, Doug Bletcher, the founder of Autism Personal Coach. Autistic people are the true experts of the autistic experience, and Autism Stories is where we interview autistic people to learn from their stories, experiences, and get their insights. If you would like to be notified about each week's episode of Autism Stories, we suggest you subscribe on your favorite podcast listening platform. We would also appreciate it if you could give us a positive rating and review, as it will help others to learn about autism stories. On today's episode, Todd Homer joins us to discuss autistic entrepreneurship and how automation can positively impact that journey. We hope you enjoy today's conversation. Todd, thanks so much for joining me here on Autism Stories.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'd like to start out by learning, where does your story in the autistic community begin?
Well, I grew up undiagnosed with pretty much anything. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 18 and bipolar at 28 and PTSD at 30. And so far I'm self-diagnosed with autism. I figured that out about 41 years old, which was about 2 years ago. My involvement in the autism community began when I met my wife in 2017. At the time we were close, but we weren't together. We weren't in a relationship or anything. We were friends, and she needed some help with her car was broke down, and she had her autistic kids that she had to get to school. So I helped her out. And her youngest son is considered nonverbal. So I got to see some of the behavior side of it. And as far as caregiving in 2017, and then 2020, after we got married, I talked her into moving to St. Louis to help her ex-husband out with the boys. And we helped out for about 6 months, and then it just didn't work out working with the ex-husband, so we had to come back. But it was quite an experience for me. I learned a lot, and I'm also the board vice president of a nonprofit called Dad's Move. We serve families with special needs like mostly behavioral health issues, behavioral challenges, stuff like that.
You are currently doing research for a software platform, Mellow Designs, that will help autistic entrepreneurs. Why is it important for you to create this platform specifically for autistic entrepreneurs?
I just feel like we get left out so much. We need something special for us sometimes. I figured I already got a community of autistic people that I talk to and I relate with. So I figured that would be the perfect market to sell to if it's a good market. I haven't decided if it's a good market yet or not. I'm still doing research.
I read that Mellow Designs is looking to have cutting edge AI and automation. What do you think are some of the most beneficial uses of AI for autistic entrepreneurs?
That's actually a good question. Typically, people automate repetitive tasks, but a lot of us autistic people, we like repetitive stuff. So the one thing I've heard that we like repetitive tasks, but I've talked to a few autistic people who said they love pretty much every aspect of their business and they wouldn't change a thing. But as far as the software, the AI, the automation, it's really one of those things that you don't know what you're missing out on until you get in on it and see how much time and money and tasks it eliminates. It combines many different softwares, like for example, Calendly. We have our own calendar, so there's no need for Calendly. It's a full CRM. We got email marketing, social media marketing, You can do websites, you name it, you can do it with this software. And the whole point of what I'm doing is to custom build it towards the customer. So it's easier to use for them. It's custom made towards what they're doing. So they have everything they need to do all their marketing and automation.
I know that you've been doing research for Mellow Designs and you've been talking to autistic entrepreneurs in this process. What have you learned from the entrepreneurs you've connected with?
The biggest thing I've learned is that they want inclusion in it, like accessibility. So I currently have dark mode, and it's compatible with your PC's accessibility options.
In addition to Mellow Designs, you mentioned being married. You have 3 kids and 3 stepkids and 3 grandkids, with a total of 6 of you being autistic. So, as autistic people, we have different support needs. How do you go about trying to get different support needs for you and your autistic family members met at the same time?
Well, my two stepsons are really the only ones that have any kind of support. They're the only ones considered disabled. At the time when we were helping take care of them, we really didn't have any support or not much. St. Louis Arc was helping us a lot as far as trying to get us services, but we didn't have any services. We were pretty much doing everything ourselves. My wife and I were watching the boys 24/7. We weren't working and doing anything else. We were actually staying in my ex-husband's house watching the boys while he was working a trucking job. As far as what he needed help with, he needed help with just about everything: bathing, brushing his teeth, cutting his nails, all the way to finishing up in the bathroom. And he had behavioral problems pretty bad too. I don't want to get into the details because it's a little traumatic.
Sure. You had mentioned earlier that you are the board vice president for Dad's Move, whose mission is to strengthen the father's role in raising children with behavioral health needs through education, peer support, and advocacy. So I'm wondering, are there ways your autism has impacted you as in your role as a father?
I believe it has. I was not a very good father, to be honest. I've always sucked at communication. I didn't have the fatherly instincts. I was always there for my kids, but I really wasn't there while I was there. You know what I mean? I didn't talk to them. I didn't do the things with them I should have done. I was pretty clueless, to be honest. And I think a lot of it has to do with being autistic and just being not typical. Building relationships with them now and trying to redo the whole father thing as a grandfather now.
And how is that kind of going with the grandkids, kind of a second time around?
It seemed a lot easier because the grandkids go home. So, I mean, I love my little Levi. He's a good one. I got 3 grandkids though, and one of them's autistic, so it's it can be a handful, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, Todd, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks so much for joining me on Autism Stories.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much to Todd for the conversation. To learn more about Todd, please check out the link in the podcast description for this episode. Here at Autism Personal Coach, our clients are the experts, our coaches are the guides. The majority of supports for autistics are not helpful. They try to fix us, not support us. That's why many are confused when we say our clients are the experts, experts of their lived experience. Our clients are the experts for what has worked for them and about the things they need and want in their lives. Our coaches first listen to our clients, then ask thoughtful questions, offer resources, and strategize with our clients so they can get what they need to thrive. Would you want a guide in your life to coach you to help you to get the things you desire? If so, then visit autismpersonalcoach.com for more information. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Autism Stories. And if you did, if you could tell a friend, foe, or anyone else you know about it so they could have the same enjoyable and educational experience as you when listening to Autism Stories, it would be very much appreciated. Until next time, I'm Doug Bletcher of Autism Personal Coach. Talk to you then.